out there. We are live. We are live. We are live. I am so excited. Today I have a dear friend of mine, Miss Erica Alcox. She is the famous author. I am dubbing her that. This is her book entitled You Smell Like Outside. I encourage anybody, and we're going to continually throughout the live share the information, Erica, because I want you to give them the website how they can purchase your book because they need to have this gem. So if you are live with me, put in the comments. Y'all know how I do. Let me know you're here. Encourage me. Let me know that you're here. Say that I am here. I am ready for those nuggets because we're going to drop some nuggets today. So, Miss Erica Alcox.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know how to describe you, but I'm gonna try my best. I don't have all my notes, but see, I don't need notes because I know you. I know you. I have the privilege of saying, I know you. Hey, Miss Sharice, thank you for being here. This woman right here is consistent in her friendship, in her loyalty. This woman right here is consistent in her pursuit, in her passion. Hey, Teriel, this woman right here is consistent at being a woman of her word. And I admire that. I admire that because everybody doesn't do that. Hey, Delon. Hey, Vernell. Thank you for being here. Miss Erica has been my friend. I don't know, Erica, 7 years. I don't know. God just connects me to people and I stay with them. Hey, Ket New. I thank God for them. I thank God for them. She is one of the dear ones for me because she shows all of her battle scars. Everybody don't show their battle scars. They only want to show their prettiness. They only want to show you, the goodness. They only want to show you the good stuff. And they shield you from their battle scars. Erica is not afraid to show you her battle scars. And it's because of that, I really admire you, baby girl. I really admire you and I thank God for you because those battle scars are helping other people heal. And I know those battle scars hurt and they don't feel good and they cost you something. See, people don't understand that. The type of woman that she is, it costs her something to be who she is every day. Every day it costs her something. And I thank you for sharing that with the world. I thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that. I know you ain't crying on my live. I don't have nobody to send no tissue to you, so you better wipe that
eye. Listen, first of all, thug tears, and I want you to understand, first of all, how appreciative I am of those words in this moment, because today started out kind of rough, and here we are. You got me crying.
Oh, live, Facebook Live, I got to crying. That's what I do.
Documenting.
Well, my thing is, I want to exalt you because you deserve this platform to be exalted and to be celebrated. That's what I want to do because you deserve it. It's taken me a long time to put you here because I told you I had to be ready to first and foremost have this platform. And I'm ready now so I can put other people on this platform with me to celebrate them. So we can talk about healing together because that's what this is about. That's why Encouraging Words by Denise was birthed. That's why a conversation with Denise was birthed. So we can talk about healing and we can celebrate each other as women. That's important to me. That's why I'm here. So everybody that's with us, I hope you know we are here to celebrate each other and to talk about healing. Miss Erica is still going through her healing, as am I. As am I. Don't let the makeup fool you, as am I. I have some battle scars too. We all have some battle scars. If you have some battle scars, put it in the comment. I have some battle scars. That's nothing to be ashamed of.
At all.
So, Miss Erica, do you want to talk about yourself or do you want me to jump right into the questions?
Well, I believe everything that needs to present itself will be presented in just the way that we do with authentic conversation. And to finish what I was saying before the tears started falling, in this moment, I thank you for this platform. I'm beginning to hear that so much that it's becoming cliche. And you know me, I don't like stuff to become to where you get numb. But thank you for allowing me to come on your platform, because this morning I learned that my feet don't belong on everybody's stage. You feel me? And the word worthy is a peculiar word. It's a word that will throw curveballs at you to test whether or not you understand your worthiness. And so in one instance where less than an hour ago, I actually got into a heated discussion with someone about money that I chose to spend with them. They attempted to make me feel as if though I was not worthy of their stage. And I had to pretty much say, that's really all I said. And I was like, no, I'll leave because I respect boundaries, because not every stage is worthy of my feet. And
exactly.
It took a long time to get there. And that is what filled the pages of You Smell Like Outside. Because those lessons that were so difficult for me to learn, not even realizing they were lessons I needed to learn, I was allowing any and everything to take place, and me, some kind of shape, form, or fashion, take the blame, or carry that burden or bear that cross when it was not my cross to bear.
Right.
So I have no problems with respecting people's boundaries, because sometimes people's boundaries are actually their cages. And so, hey, if you want to be there and I'm over here, it's fine. Coexist is a word. Coexist is a word. So what we're not fitting to do is put my worthiness up for discussion of whether I'm worthy of being treated with respect. So that is a lesson that I want everybody, whether they got the book, heard about the book, sitting by somebody who may have seen the book in their news feed. I knew that writing the book, there were so many times where I had to stop. If you got the book, and you'll see certain passages where I said I need to pause because I need to process what I just wrote, because I would realize my face would be drenched, and knew that, okay, this is something we still got to work on. We got to get to the core of this, because I refuse to go into my 50s. And I refuse, even if I was in my 20s and had this sense of awareness, just to go another day not applying what I've learned.
Right.
So, to cover something up, it's just like if you get a real bad cut and you put a Band-Aid on it, but in actuality you need stitches. Right. To do a Band-Aid, at some point that healing ain't gonna be the way that it needs to be. So, let's just chat and let it present itself as it needs to.
So, ladies, once again, this is the book. I do encourage you to purchase it. The title is You Smell Like Outside. I've already read the entire book, and I have to go back because I promised that I need to take notes, because there's so much wisdom in this book. There's so much truth in this book, and it is a powerful book. If you desire to be healed, if you need some wisdom, if you need someone else to kind of just shake you up a little bit, this is the book that you need to purchase. And I'm not just saying that because I have to be honest. I do not necessarily like reading. I don't know if any of you are aware of that. I do not like reading. I love writing. I love creating. Reading is something that I do, minimally. This right here, double worth the read. Double worth the read.
Thank you.
So some of her chapters are entitled Expiration Dates. Seat Yourself. Who Won This Is. Yes, I read it right. Who Won This Is.
But you gotta say it right.
Who Won This Is. Yeah, I don't have it all the way there. Another chapter title is Hot Sauce. And I mean, the book is just phenomenal. So Erica, I'm gonna jump in with my first question.
Okay.
So Describe what worthy means to you as related to your life experiences and the lessons that you've learned.
Worthy to me is coming to the realization that even when you're being told one thing or treated another way, and even if you don't believe it yourself, worthiness is something that you're already, the minute you're conceived, you're already worthy. You know, it's us that who have to catch up.
Right.
Sitting in a space of reflection, you look back at all of the things that you did when you thought you was doing what you wanted to do, you know, what was driving those wants? Were you trying to validate yourself to yourself? You know, did you engage in some toxic things? And you know, that's the word for, you know, 2020 and 20. Oh, toxic, toxic, toxic. But really, were you engaging in some things that may have felt good in the moment, but when that moment passed, did you sink? Did you, you know, need some aftercare after what you thought was good for you? It may have felt
Right.
good to you in the moment, but
Right.
you know, your soul, the very
Becomes damaged.
yeah, the very core of you is going to let you know exactly whether or not you on the right track. And that's the thing that is always so chuckle inducing to me, is that deep down we know, but we don't want to do the work. And I'm just gonna say,
Right.
I'm gonna say me, because I can only speak for myself.
Well,
And that's the way way that I wrote the book was a conversation with myself, so that no one felt as if though I'm being preachy, because little little do people know I don't like to read either. Girl, if you give me a greeting card and it got too many lines on it, I'm just gonna look on the inside for the short, get to the point, because my mind is not that I don't appreciate it, please, you know, but and I like to write, so we have that in common. But I wrote it in a way to where people could, you know, look and see, well, what is she going to do? Well, how does she do? Oh, she did that. Oh, I did that too. Because empathy is a superpower. For one, I did not want to come off as holier than thou. Anybody who
exactly.
knows that's not my thing. If anything, I will put a microscope on my flaws first, because I need for you to understand that I'm coming from a place of concern and coming from a place of love and wanting to see you win. And
Right.
you know, sometimes that has been, you know, a blessing and a curse, so to speak, because sometimes I gave until, you know, I depleted myself, which, you know, people who have been following me for a while know where that got me. But worthiness is knowing that, you know, you don't have to struggle, whether it be financially, whether it be emotionally, mentally. You don't have to struggle, and you're worthy of getting the things that we're taught. Oh, be humble, have a testimony, but be humble. Nah, I'm about to sing this from the rooftop. You understand?
Exactly. So, ladies, hey, Samika, hey, Crystal, thank you all for joining us. Erica, so we're talking about worthy and worthiness. And ladies, I hope you understand exactly our hearts behind this, because like Erica said, the minute you were conceived, you were worthy. And another human being can't qualify that. They can't say whether you're worthy or not. You have to know your worth. And so often when we become broken because of relationships or choices or things that we have experienced, we allow our worthiness to sink down. And we start functioning from that broken place. And we start allowing things to happen that we are way above. For instance, in relationships, as a woman to woman, Erica, because you talked about some things in your book pertaining to relationships. And I can identify with that. Being in relationships that we know full well we weren't meant for. But at the time, I know specifically for myself, I didn't know my worth. I didn't know my value. So because I didn't know my value, I allowed someone to misuse me. And so often we carry that, and we carry the shame of that, and we walk around with that for years. Like you, I'm almost 50 years old, and it's still some things that I have been able to release in this last couple of years, but it took so long to release it because I was still functioning out of an unworthy state, not realizing, no, like you said, at the moment God created us, when that sperm hit that egg, boom, we was worthy at that point. You know, so I'm so thankful for this book because this book walks you through that and understanding what Erica went through. But a lot of the things that you wrote about, we can identify with. Yeah. As women, we can identify with.
And I want to say, because something you just said about the length of time. At one point in time, I used to beat myself up that I'm X amount of years old. Oh, you're 40 something years old. You're this years old, blah, 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 blah. And you should have, could have, should have, could have, would have. And what I did was I released the punishment I was giving myself for having taken so long. And what I want to offer, not only to myself, but to you, because I got it off of what you just said, and to anybody else who may be in their late 40s, who may even be in their 50s and 60s or whatever, and there's some sense of shame attached to your timing. Any time is the perfect time, because as a person that loves to cook, I've learned a long time ago, just that when you cook and you allow things to simmer and let the flavor do what it does, it tastes so much better. You know, sorry for that long dramatic pause, but you know, the length of time that it takes to do something, you know, universe is as it needs to be. Universe will never put anything on your plate that you're not worthy of, that you're not equipped to handle. And all of the things that come from the challenges that present themselves is building you into the person that you need to be. So that when you get to that place, now you understand why you went through what you went through.
Right, right.
So everything
is actually preparation for that.
Yeah.
It's actually preparation. You know, a lot of times, and I think I was having this conversation with somebody the other day, a lot of times we believe we're ready. Like, we're ready. But if you're never tested, if you're never tried, if you're never proven, how do you know you're ready? If you're never prepared for something, you're not going to be ready for when it comes. And a lot of things, like you said, that we have gone through, the battle scars, the pain, a lot of that stuff was preparing us for where we're going. A lot of that stuff was preparing us for our purpose, so that when we get there, for one, we'll have a testimony. Two, we'll be able to help somebody else.
Yes.
You know what I mean? What's the point of going through a lot of what we go through and we can't reach back and help somebody else?
Right.
I have a problem with that. Like, the things that I go through, the trials that I've experienced, I want to be able to reach back and say, no, let me help you. Let me show you how to get out of that. Let me show you how to walk through this. Yes. Because if I can do it, I know you can do it. And I'm going to help you do that. Now, the difference is, me and you can attest to this. We had to learn, and you said something in your book that was powerful about that. Sometimes people aren't ready for that. Yeah. They may know they need it, but they may not desire that. Right. And we have to let them be where they're at. You know, we can't help everybody. We have to leave. If they're not ready for that, or they don't desire to leave where they're at, then we have to respect that. But at the same time, the things that we've gone through, the battle scars that we have achieved or gained, is to help other people, is to show them how to get out of that. And that's what this book does. This book really does walk you through. Well, wait a minute. Let me, like you do, a lot of the pauses is so that we can start thinking, like, how did I get here? That's a question we don't ask ourselves. Like, we go throughout life and things happen to us, and we go into that victim mentality. And we never ask ourselves, well, how did I get here? How did I allow myself to get here? And it's not placing blame on ourselves, but we got to be accountable.
Yes.
How did you get there? That's a question, ladies. If you're still with us, think about that question. I want you to think, at this very moment where you're at in your life, how did you get there? whether it's good or indifferent. How did you get there? We got to start asking ourselves some questions. A lot of times we look outside of ourselves to ask everybody else questions. We got to start going inside and asking ourselves, how did we get here?
Mm-hmm.
Where did I play a part in this? You know, we have to start holding ourselves at another level, because remember, we are worthy. So people who are worthy can't function out of a victim mentality.
Right.
That it doesn't go together. A victim mentality will completely take you out of your worthy status.
And one thing I know for sure is that people who are comfortable with victim mentality will only be tunnel vision. Anything that infringes on that victim mentality, as we're speaking, literally as we're speaking, what I said, how my day started, I'm receiving messages from people who are stuck in the victim mentality and pointing the blame elsewhere, other than saying, what part did I play in my own chaos? You know? So worthiness is so many different things, because it lets you reflect on what you will allow and what you will not allow. And when it's all said and done, let people be to their own way and excuse yourself from that atmosphere, because you are worthy of peace, you are worthy of joy, you're worthy of harmony, and you're worthy of your voice. So
Right.
something is not as it needs to be to your standards, then by all means, let your voice be heard, and whoever has an issue with it, let them deal with it.
Right, right.
Yes.
That is awesome. That is awesome. I can stay on that point too, but I'm gonna move on because I believe in speaking up.
Yeah.
Erica, why was this book necessary for you to write in this season of your journey?
It was time, because of some events that had taken place behind the scenes. You know I post a lot on social media, and there are some things that people, as we all should have some privacy. And it was time, because I'm the type of person, I like puzzles, and I'm like, what is going on? What's really going on? Because I don't like how I'm feeling. I don't like how, when I walk into, before the world shut down, I don't like how when I'm walking into a certain room, I'm picking up on vibes. You know how you can walk into a room and you can tell the conversation was about you. And of course, what people's opinions of us ain't none of our business. In the same breath, I like to know the impact that I have on people. Like, what is really going on? Because I want to make sure that what I did was received in the way that I intended for it to be received.
Right.
So, as you have a soon to be teen son, as a solo parent, and as an educated, always around others, giving of yourself, and you're wondering, what have you retained for yourself? There comes that question of worthiness. Am I worthy of having peace? Am I worthy of having comfort? Am I worthy of love? Am I worthy? So I needed to dig deep and find out why, there was a question of worthiness in my head. And so I was like, well, only way I can do is reflect on the stories that, the things that I have lived, and find out what's at the bottom of it. So
right.
It just presented itself as it's always been there, but as you get older, that whisper becomes a little bit louder, to the inside voice, to a yell, to an outside voice, to a, look here, what's going on?
Exactly. So where you have to jack your own self up.
Right.
Yeah, like, okay, enough is enough. Because that's the thing, like you said, is a lot of times we know that we need to deal with some things, and we keep living with it year after year after year, and we don't want to confront it. But I always encourage people, it's best that you confront it before it confronts you. Because by the time it confronts you, now it's putting you in a state where you may be embarrassed or exposed publicly or something. So it's best that you confront it, and a lot of times, like I said, that's something that's hard to do. because now you got to be real with yourself. Now you got to be vulnerable in front of yourself, you know, because it's one thing we can wear a good mask, and even with ourselves, we can put on a front. I'm okay. We can dress it up, put another wig on, a weave, or we can put some makeup on and we can cover it up. And underneath, we're a hot mess, and we know that, but we still run from our own selves when it comes to that. So this book, like I said, it gives you an insight of, wait a minute, I need to address some things. That's what this book does. It gives you that insight, like I need to, and it doesn't have to be, because everybody's at different levels. So it doesn't have to be anything sometimes negative. It can take you into a positive realm to where you can, if you're functioning here, it can make you say, well, let me go to another level. Let me build, if I'm building a business, let me build that business a little better. You know, it can be in your personal life, it can be in your professional life. But this book gives you a perspective of, let me do better by myself. Yeah. I don't have to wait for somebody else to do better by me. Let me do better by myself. I deserve that much.
Right. And that's why I wrote it in the voice that I did write it in. And you know, having a conversation with myself, because I didn't want to put off this vibe of, you know, seek acceptance or seek validation or seek the answers from somebody else. The answers are right here. We're born with it. And sometimes we may need, you know, the assistance of a professional, a licensed professional, to help us find our own questions, our own answers. Because when it's all said and done, we're the only one, we're the common denominator. We're the only one that we spend 24/7 with, the only person.
Right.
And I encourage anyone who is having difficulty with having that conversation with themselves to do so little by little, little by little. I didn't even realize there was a time like I wouldn't even look in mirrors because I was running from, now mind you, selfie queen now, selfie. But if you pay real close attention, 9 times out of 10, I'm not making eye contact with myself in a lot of my old selfies. I'm looking at my chin, and you can't really tell. That's the magic of selfies and cameras. You know, and I look, and I can look in my eyes. I go back now and I look at my old selfies, and I look and I see, oh girl, you was hurting so bad. I see it. It, you know, and so that mask is a dangerous thing. It's a dangerous thing that, you know, is just like a body part being numb, and you lose all touch with what is in place to help you know when something is wrong. But if it's numb, you can't tell if, you know, if the bottom of your foot is numb. I say this a lot. If the bottom of your foot is numb and you walk on a piece of glass and you don't know it, now you're bleeding out of your foot and it becomes infected. And then next thing you know, your foot doesn't look the same, you know? So it's a dangerous thing to be numb and to pretend that everything is okay. One thing that helped me tell this story and all of the juicy details and stuff was to begin to understand it is okay. It's absolutely okay. And that's it. It's okay. You know?
Right.
And there was the song Flowetry. All you got to do is say yes. Now, for the most part, people will hear that song like, ooh, that's sex. That's a sexy song. Yeah, it is a sexy song. But I flipped it. And I began singing that song to myself. And there's a part, don't deny what you feel, baby, undress. And, you know, the song goes on. But that part, I use that as my part of getting past one of the relationships I was talking about in the book that, you know, really wasn't for my best interest. And I was really, really involved. And I used that line of the song to say, it's okay. You were really in love. You, for what you knew love to be, you were in love, and it's absolutely okay. Just be honest, accept it. Don't say, oh, you should not. It's okay. In that moment, your young self thought you was in love, and that's what you knew love to be. It's okay. Hug yourself. Let's move forward.
Right.
I broke down, you know, already know I'm a boohoo crier. And so that was the one part. Something as simple as that lyric, me singing it to myself, saying it's okay. You ain't no shame in it. Ain't no shame. You know, a lot of us like to say ain't no shame in my game, but secretly we're like, oh my God, you know, how did I? It's all right. It's okay.
Right.
Time for it. Go get you something to drink. Go find you some cheese fries. Do something. It's okay. Let's go for it. Yes.
Yes. Yes. Ladies, I hope you are. I didn't give this disclaimer, and I normally do. I normally ask people to write stuff down because as nuggets are being dropped, you want to write it down. I always try to tell people, and ladies, if you've been with me for a minute, we're not doing these lives just so you can look at us. We're not doing these lives just so I can say, oh, I did another live. Please hear my heart. I can be doing something else. I promise you I can be. I'm doing these lives because I want to make a difference. I want to make an impact. I want somebody to hear one word that can change their life. I want somebody to be impacted so they can heal, so they can be set free. So when I do these lives and I have these women that come on as my guests, it's something that I first and foremost I pray about, you know, and it's thought put into it. So I ask you to come prepared to receive, you know, so you can walk away with something that you can use. Don't just sit and listen to all these lives and get fat off of the stuff that you hear and never apply it to your life. We got to stop doing that. So I'm begging you, if you're on here, type on here that you're going to be diligent to apply something that you've heard. That's who I want God to attach to me. That's who I want God to attach to you, Erica. People that are going to pick up what we're saying and run with it. We didn't go through these battle scars for nobody to learn from them. Come on, Erica. Them battle scars hurt. We've gone through some stuff. I need you to buy her book because I'm not going to tell her testimony. I'm not going to share her story. You need to buy her book because Erica has gone through some battle scars that are here for other women to learn from. That's an amazing thing. So when we're doing these lives, please, ladies, like, I don't like to beg, but please walk away with something that you can use. Don't just sit here and listen and just finish up and be like, oh, I was there to support. This is not about that. This is about you getting free. This is about you getting healed and delivered. It ain't about support. This 2021.
Yeah.
We gonna truth. Ain't about all of that. It's about getting free. There's some things God wants us to do. So, Erica,
yes,
I'm gonna read something real quick.
Okay.
With your permission, of course.
Okay.
Okay. So, on page 23, this really blessed me when I read it. I had to reread it several times. So she entitled this, The Process. And it says, elevation requires separation. And I'm going slow because this is deep. Elevation requires separation. Separation initiates isolation. I can attest to that. Isolation allows for meditation. Meditation nurtures imagination. I really want to throw this book and run, but I'm going to behave. Imagination encourages cogitation. I'm saying that right?
Cogitation.
Cogitation influences activation. Activation laced with audacity breeds manifestation. Recognize the process, respect the process, embrace the process. Erica.
Yes.
See, a lot of people, they need to purchase this book because even this right here needs to be studied out. Because so often we run from being separated from people. Where you desire to go, and we hear this all the time. That's what perturbs me. Where you desire to go, everybody can't go with you. Come on now. Where you desire to go. You can't take mama and them and Pookie and them and the child that you went to Head Start with. You can't take all them people with you because the mindset is not the same.
Everybody can't go.
Everybody can't go. And then we become, like you said, separation initiates isolation. We become afraid to be alone.
Yeah.
We run from silence. And oh my God, what did you say about that? You remember?
Say it
when is peace. Instead of looking at it as, you got to look at silence as peace.
Yeah.
Versus silence. You can't look at it as I'm alone or it's silence.
Or loneliness.
You got to look at it as peace.
When you
that isolation is necessary for you to grow, for you to hear, for you to imagine, for, oh my God.
Yeah, and it's very
that alone,
very part of the whole entire process. And again, here's another phrase, you know, it's a process, it's a process, there's levels to this, and people will say it, people, you know, me included, I'm including myself, and people will say these things, yet we don't fully embrace the magnitude of what it means. Acknowledging that something is a process is very different from understanding that it's a process. It's not going to happen overnight, and sometimes it will happen at the speed of light, you know.
Oh yeah.
So it's, isolation has been the greatest gift. When we went into quarantine and a lot of people began to panic, you know, rightfully so. At the end of it, I was hoping, it was my hope that we all began to look at, all right, why are we isolated besides the health portion? While we're isolated, what needs to take place, you know? And a lot of people was like, oh, don't tell me what I should do during quarantine. I'm not saying anything that you need to do or anything. I'm just saying, look at what's going on.
Exactly.
And let it filter through your life as you see fit. Some people used it for rest. Some people used it for opportunities to bond with people who they don't normally see during the day. Other people used it for clarity on what things could be done differently that so many people said could not be done. Mm-hmm. You know, everything has its reason and its season. Everything has its purpose. Silence, when you begin to see silence as peace, you're on the right track. Because there was a time when, you know, well, not most Generation X's I know, because we were the latchkey kids. So being by
exactly
is kind of, you know, a superpower we have. But there's quite a few people who, you know, oh my God, I gotta get out the house, I gotta be around people, I gotta da. Actually, you okay. You okay. I understand we need social interaction, but there's so many different ways to connect with people and connect with kindred spirits and even connect with people who we need to disconnect from so we can learn a little something. You know, silence is golden. Silence
It is. Ladies, I don't know how you've been doing during the quarantine. I personally am still practicing quarantine life. Like I still am doing that because I appreciate this season. Like you said, isolation is necessary. Mm-hmm. And in the silence, I've experienced peace and I've been able to draw closer to God and I've been able to discover who I am. See, all of that time before running, like you said, running here and running there and doing this and doing that, I still was doing that out of like, who the heck am I? This silence, this separation, this isolation has allowed me to look in the mirror and kind of look inside of me and discover who I am. And reading your book is taking me to another level because now I get to ask some other questions that I may not have thought of. See, that's the good thing. Shelly Sunshine, Shelly asked to provide the link for your book. So
Okay.
Can you say it, or do we need to tag her in it?
I can say it because I went ahead and shortened it. I tried
Okay.
other Black-owned businesses to use for my my marketing and things of that nature, and then I just went ahead and made it to where it was easier for people to find everything. So I call it the whole insider experience.
Okay.
So it's yslo.club.
That's it.
yslo.club. If you put that
So
in your browser and it doesn't come up, then you can do the https
okay.
colon slash slash, but
So
it's yslo.club.
I'm gonna let you repeat it again. Ladies, I'm gonna give you a minute just in case you didn't have your pen handy when Erica was giving out the link to purchase her book. Please get your pen handy. If anybody want to type it in the comment section for us, I'll greatly appreciate you. I'm not gonna pay you nothing, it's a freebie, but I thank you for doing it. But get your pen handy. Erica is gonna give you the link so you can purchase her book. You Smell Like Outside. Go ahead, Erica.
YSLO, the acronym for You Smell Like Outside, YSLO.club. If you're on Instagram, you can follow at YSLO book, and all of those links, just everything is in the bio, but YSLO.club. And if all else fails, you can always go to GeeChee.com. But YSLO.club will take you to everything.
Thank you, Shelly Sunshine. I hope you got that. Thank you, Sharice and Terriel, for putting it in the comment section. I definitely encourage you, Sharice, Robin, Terriel, Shelly, anybody else who's on here that I missed, Crystal, Shahid, please purchase her book. Like I tell people, I'm not into hyping. I'm into celebrating. I celebrate where I see treasures. I see treasures in Erica. I see treasures in my past guest, Sharice. I see treasures in my past guest, Delon. That's why they're on this platform with me. I see treasures there, and I want to expose their treasures to the world. So that's why I do what I do. So please purchase her book. It is on Amazon. So, and it comes lickety split. Y'all know Amazon don't play about delivery. I ordered it, and when I looked, it was at the door. I ripped that packaging open, and I read the book the same night I got it. So please, please, please purchase her book. Erica, I got another question for you, girlie.
Yes, ma'am.
I gotta look at my paper because I can't remember what I put on here. Tell us who you are now as opposed to who you thought you were based on your level of worthiness.
Ooh. Who I am now is graceful. And I say graceful not as in, movements or whatever, because I'm tomboyish, Anybody who's seen me, I'm hat to the back, jeans and yoga pants and all of this stuff like that. But graceful meaning that I allow myself to make mistakes more so, without the punishment, without the, the beating up, and allowing myself to, giving myself a safe space. If something doesn't feel right, if I feel like my feelings have been hurt, if I feel like somebody is trying to dismiss me, yeah, you have a right to feel that way. Back before, I was the martyr. I don't want to disturb that, and I don't want to. It's a difference between saying, I don't want to, versus I respect boundaries. You feel that way, but I also feel this way. Ain't no but, because that, negates what came before the but.
Right.
You feel your way, and I feel my way. So we can agree to disagree and part ways, and not have to hash it up. We ain't got to save no screenshots. We ain't got to, just go on and find peace. And just because there's too much other stuff out here in this world. Bad times got you on GPS. I said this a long time ago. Bad times got you on GPS. It knows where to find you. It knows how to find you. And it will find you at its convenience. It don't give a damn about what you got going on. So in all things, at all times, seek for joy because you're worthy of it. Seek for peace because you're worthy of it. Seek for love because you're worthy of it. And the only place you really truthfully need to seek is inside yourself. It should not come from outside, because there's nothing worse than looking for that source outside of yourself, and the thing or person or habit or whatever that you're seeking it from and thinking they should provide it, when they snatch it away or don't give it to you the way that you feel you deserve, then what? That's too much power.
Oh yes.
Too much
Yeah.
power. That's giving
And we
somebody
give it away.
a lifeline. So
Yeah, we give our power away way too much. Way too much. Way too much. Way too much. So wow, Erica. So it's a lot of, I need a highlighter because there's a lot of things in here that have become my favorite saying. But this one I'm gonna read because it really, I thought, was phenomenal. So I want you to elaborate on the statement that I'm about to read. You wrote, "You owe it to yourself, regardless of the times of poor judgment, to take care of your heart. You are worthy, no matter how stained your past may be. You will not sacrifice your joy and peace at the altar of unforgiving guilt." Do I need to read that again?
Stop right there. Don't. Because I remember when I tell y'all that this book, is my flowers to myself. It's my flowers to myself, because there are so many times where I didn't feel I was worthy of any flowers from myself, because I gave the power to somebody else to give me flowers. And when you don't believe that you are worthy, it just opens up the door to so much stuff. It just opens up the door, and it just allows so much stuff to come in. Come on, girl, get it together. But I'm like, it's one of those days. I need to see. I know it's full moon and everything. I need to pay attention and go research. But the reason this is my thing that I want people to understand. I wrote this book not for the business side of it, where it's bestseller or it's not bestseller, or it's how many copies sold in a day and this, that, and the third. I wrote this book for the person I used to be, who would be in the corner boo-hoo crying, trying to find ways to find some type of validation. I wrote this book for anybody out there, regardless of how old you are. If you were trying to find somebody who would let you know that it's okay, and let me show you why it's okay. So many people speak of not centering yourself when somebody comes to you with issues. It's not centering when somebody is empathizing and letting you know. It's not, oh, your scar that big? Well, look how big my scar is. It's not that at all. It's, this is your scar. This is my scar. And I want you to see that I feel you. I feel you. I see you. I feel you and I see you. And you are more than worthy of healing. It's there for you. Whatever I can do without depleting myself to help you heal. That's why I'm here. We're only here. People say, oh, life is short. No, our life is not short. Our life is long and our life is fruitful. What's short is our attention to our intentions. Because we always see when there's some type of tragedy, everybody, oh, go hug the one you love, tell somebody you love them, and then we're back after a week or two, back off doing the same thing. So our attention span is what's short. As much as I enjoy, the tags and the pictures and everything else like that, what I see is that there's a possibility that somebody who has that book is getting what they needed so they can be who they need to be for themselves. And when you take care of yourself, which is not selfish, then the whole household transforms. The whole household. What a joy, what an honor to be able to transform households simply because I see you and I feel you. You're worthy. That's why I wrote this book. And I hope, and I will it, that every person who buys this book and gets what they need, somebody close to them pops up in their head, be like, I'm about to buy you this book. Now, let me make sure I make this clear, because this was the mistake that I made before of, being nice and being kind. Nice is a doormat. Kind is a peephole. I ain't saying I don't want y'all to buy the book now. I want you to buy the book because the funds help me to build things for the community. So buy the book, okay? I ain't saying, oh, here go my book. No, we ain't doing that. In this season, we are not doing that. I know I am worthy. I know I am worthy of sales,
Amen.
I know I am worthy of sales. So I just, yes, just yes. I'm worthy of sales and you are worthy of healing. I see you and I feel you, and that's why I wrote the book.
Ladies, Sharice and or Teriel, please drop the link in the comment section again for Erica's book. Erica, you can say it again if anybody wants to write it down. Go ahead, Erica.
YSLO, the letters YSLO.club. YSLO.club. CLUB. Okay? Listen.
And it's on Amazon. You can purchase it. I encourage you to purchase the book. I would even encourage you to tell your girlfriends to purchase the book, and you all sit down, whether it be in person with your mask on, whether it be in Zoom format, and you all have a group session, a group book club meeting. I don't care what you want to call it. Get some wine, get some cheese, get some milk, get some water. I don't care what you drink. But I encourage you to purchase the book, and don't be selfish. You purchase the book, tell somebody else to purchase the book so you have somebody to read it with. You know what I mean? That's the good part about this book. You can discuss the book. As women, we need to come together. This book is actually not just for women, though. Let me put that out there. Right. This book, I think, is great for couples to sit down and go through this book and ask those questions to themselves and maybe share the answer with their partner. That would be an amazing thing for you to heal with your partner or your husband. Oh my God, that's real intimacy. That's real intimacy.
That was something else that I wanted to make sure I made clear. I mean, let's just be honest. We know that us women, we're the majority of the consumers of items that, it's the women. I mean, I hate if that offends somebody, but the numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie. Not only are we the rising number of entrepreneurs, but when it comes to the shopping, when it comes to anything, it's us. So of course, I'm only going to speak from a place that I know, and I've only been a Black woman, so I'm speaking in that voice in the book. However, this book, just like you said, this book is for the individual. I wrote this book. I have a 15-year-old son. And he was like, Mama, when you had time to write a book? I'm like, child, how old am I? I had all this time, and when you came into my life, honey, you gave me more content. Okay. So, and that's our relationship. But I wrote this in a way that when he decides he wants to see what his mama said, that he can heal, because he got some stuff that he has to heal from. And I am so proud of him, the person that he is and is continuously becoming, because I couldn't imagine. I'm a solo parent. I had both of my parents. I have both of my parents. So that's something I can't even empathize with him on. So all I can do is speak to the core of who an individual is and what they allow and don't allow because of their perception of themselves based on what happened to them. So this is for anybody. Of course, women are going to appreciate this, especially pages 48 through 51, are going to appreciate this, from a different perspective. But this book is for anybody. Yes.
I second, third, fourth, and fifth that. This book, like I said, I can see couples sitting down reading it separately and coming together and discussing it. I can see my daughters and I maybe partaking in it of it. Is one of those books, like I said, that will cause you to think. So often we want to be numbed. Remember we talked about the numbing? We want to just watch TV, watch Netflix, watch this latest movie, listen to this music, look at social media, and we're not sitting down with the lights off in the silence to think, to hear, to become, to know. We got to start doing more of that. And this book can kind of push you into that direction gently. It's a gentle push in that direction.
What I wanted to do was to be gentle, because I've heard too many horror stories and have experienced too many horror stories of, the learning curve not being respected. And when it comes to learning ourselves and what makes us tick and what makes us do the things that we do, we're learning. So, that's a learning curve. And there's an art to educating. There's teachers and then there's educators. I like to focus on what else I can do to become an educator, because educators impact you for life in the best way, So, and that's all I ever, every day that I wake up, even on this day that started out real crazy, I only want to be part of a solution. Sometimes that solution is uncomfortable because the conversation, can I just get into it? Because I just want to give a snippet of how I apply this on a daily basis. So this morning, I patronized the business. Last week, noticed that I did not have any tracking information or anything. Mind you, I use the same platform that this person uses. And so we're in a few groups together, and I sent information. I said, well, let me do my due diligence and find out whether or not, maybe I overlooked something. Make sure it ain't my error, because there ain't nothing like being loud and wrong. So after doing my due diligence and find out that, okay, no, I haven't received anything. And I go to the person and I say, can you provide some tracking information on this? Because, just want to be sure. And where I am, packages are pretty secure, right? So ask the question. I ordered on the 24th. Using the platform, you should be able to go right in. I emailed, I followed the procedures. I didn't let me slide in the DMs. I initiated in the DMs, but I went to email and I gave the order number or screenshot of the actual thing that came from their website and said, can you provide some information? Because we use the same platform, I know how the back office works. So when the reply comes to me and I'm receiving a tracking number, why didn't I receive that in email? Okay, let's see what's going on. The tracking number says that it was delivered. Well, I didn't receive anything. I copied the tracking number, and if I ordered on the 24th and they live more than 2 gas tanks away from me, there's no way that it was delivered on the 25th, because you just got the order on the 24th. Okay, so now to me, it's looking like you trying to scam me. Didn't get upset about anything. Long story short, I asked for a refund, and it's not the first time that I've asked for a refund and then followed up with, when you get things back in line, let me know and I'll reorder, because I want to support, and I actually want the product. You know what I'm saying? I don't buy stuff I don't want. Well, right. If I spent $31 and I asked for a refund, I expect $31. I only got $26. Can you, $5 because of the packaging, but I didn't get anything. And I ordered a week ago. It's not my error. You're in business. I understand. I'm a one-woman show too. Things happen. Sometimes you're going to have to take that L because the customer in this case is the person wanting it, you know. And so it evolved into, here go your $5. Okay. You know, and when you're in your feelings about something that a person has the right, that is worthy of, you know, an explanation because they spent their money, and then you're not refunding everything that was spent, how am I giving you money for something I didn't receive that's not my fault? How does that work? And so when you're in victim mentality, this is how I apply all of this stuff. When you're dealing with somebody in victim mentality and does not want to hear you and dismiss, you have to reach deep down, deep down, because what I am not going to allow is anybody to take me out of who I truly am. And
exactly.
That, you know, being say, oh, you broke her spirit. And no, I didn't break her spirit. I broke a habit. Because if something was received, if you're in business and something was received a week ago, you know, and I've made the same mistake because life got in the way. And I was like, oh, I didn't email the customer. And I immediately, you know, my bad, it's taking this long. Some of y'all have been on the email list. And I'm like, y'all, even the book was supposed to be out September 1st. But because things beyond my control, it didn't hit until January 1. October, November, 3 months, 4 months. That's not your fault. So I said, if you want a refund, I completely understand.
Right,
you know
right.
So with that being said, you know, you have to be mindful. And I started getting all these messages. You broke her spirit and you owe her. I don't like the way you handled that. And no, I came in and I said, learn from my mistakes, because there's no shipping policy on your brand new website. Get your shipping policy up there, because really, I have several dogs in this fight and they can bite and bark. Because if I screenshot everything right now with a timestamp and send it to my bank, you won't give me back my $5. And then who knows? You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
it's not about the $5. As they say, it's about
the principle. Is the principle.
The principality. So, you know, it's all of that. That the old Erica would have been like, oh, you don't feel like all of this. But no, whether that's because I'll spend that $5 with somebody else in a different way. However, you know, you could have just chosen to say, you know what, that's my fault. It took a week for me to realize that I had not sent it, and I just sent you a tracking information that wasn't even yours. So, you know, understanding those things, and nobody chose to see that. They wanted to rally around the person. You know, it's all good. It's all good. So with all of that being said, them uncomfortable but necessary conversations, even when they don't feel good, they're for the good. Because I guarantee you, I bet you if I go on that website now, I bet you she got a shipping policy up there. You can't.
Well, that's a part of living, and that's a part of learning.
Right.
So the good thing is, like you said, now you know your worthiness, and now you can walk that thing out. Whereas before you would have felt some kind of way. It's okay to verbalize how you feel. It's okay to say, I'm not going to tolerate this. Like I always tell my children, it's okay to correct someone. Confrontation is not bad. We have to stop looking at confrontation as a bad thing. When you know your worth, like for me, I welcome confrontation. And not in a negative space, because I don't do anything in a negative space. Everything comes out of me as a positive, but I welcome confrontation because it gives you an opportunity to share your voice. It gives you an opportunity to hear someone else's voice. And that's what's missing so often.
That's
a
confrontation. A confrontation.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm like, I do conversations, not confrontations. What you just described is a conversation, because it allows for both parties to be able to come together without ego, without, you know, focusing so much on who's right, but to see what happened. What happened?
Right.
From this side, this is what I have. What's going on your side? If she had just said, you know what, the whole week got away from me and this, that, but she came with, well, you know, thank you for the, and kind of being short, you know, but it is what it is.
She may need a copy of your book. She may need a copy of your book. This is opportunity. I see you, Robin. Robin said confronting without offending. That's a whole nother topic, because sometimes you can confront with good intentions, and how somebody received your information, that's on them. Sometimes they're going to be offended no matter how you say it. So
Right.
that's a whole nother conversation, but I definitely agree with that, Robin. So ladies, I thank you. I thank you. I thank you for tuning in for a conversation with Denise, with my special friend, Erica Alcox, who I miss. I hadn't seen her and put my arm around her neck since July of 2019.
Yes. Yes.
I need another trip. So prayerfully this year,
yeah,
I can go visit her or something, because I miss her dearly. But I thank God we were able to see each other in this platform. I thank God for you writing this book. I thank God that he allowed me to purchase it, read it, and receive it. So ladies, please, once again, purchase your copy of You Smell Like Outside. There is, what's the pages you talked about, Erica? 40 what?
48 through 51.
Y'all, let me tell y'all something. I'm gonna give y'all a warning. Page 48 through 51 is not for I don't even know what word to use, but if you happen to love the Lord and you extra religious, you may want to skip page 48 through 51. I'm gonna just say it like that. But see, I love the Lord and I'm not religious. I have a relationship with him. He is my father. I am his daughter, and I am free. So when I'm free, I can read pages 48 to 51 and laugh, because I've been there, done that. Maybe not that particular environment, but I understand. So I'm telling you all, when you get to them pages, it's gonna be like, I had to do like this. Then you pull the, because I need reading glasses. Now I was like, what? Oh Lord. And then Eric, I gotta say this. And Ruth and Egger. I'm just gonna put the book down. Cause when I said Ruth and Egger, y'all need to get the book. Pages 48 through 51 is not the only good part, but it gave you an insight to her personality, her character, who she is as a woman. And I celebrate you as a woman. I think we got to do more of that. Embrace our womanhood. Yes. Whether we be feminine, a little boyish, I don't care, But I celebrate your womanhood, Erica. I thank you for writing this book. I appreciate you. Ladies, once again, please purchase a copy of You Smell Like Outside. The website is
yslo.club, CLUB. Join the
I hope you purchase this book. Tell your girlfriends to get the book. I want Erica to be amazed at the sales. They are going to skyrocket. I desire to see her prosper and be in health and wealth. That's my girl. Thank you, Crystal Shaheed, for dropping it in the comments. Sandy, I appreciate you showing up. Thalia, I appreciate you showing up. Yes, you can purchase it on Amazon. Miss King, you can purchase it on Amazon. I thank you all. I'm going to put in a little plug for myself. Erica, can I do that?
Yeah, before you do,
okay.
The people who are going on Amazon, a lot of people will just go to the regular Amazon and put in, either my name or You Smell Like Outside, and all of these other things will come up and they can't find it. Make sure you're going into the category of books, okay? Go into the category of books. But, to bypass all of that, I'm telling you, just go yslo.club and it'll take you to it.
Thank you, Erica. So thank you, ladies, for showing up. I am Denise Meggett. A conversation with Denise, encouraging words by Denise is my baby, my purpose, my passion, my God-given design and assignment for this earth. I am a holistic consultant. I work with women to transform their lives in the area of physical wellness, personal growth, and restoration of wholeness. I am doing so much of what I'm doing because I know God transformed my life, and anybody who's been following me know my story because I'm very transparent as well. I thank God for you all being here. Show up. Next week, Saturday, I have another live. My special guest is Karen Monique. She is a freelance model. She is bold and beautiful. Y'all don't want to miss her. The topic is going to be Finding Your Confidence. We shifting gears, ladies. We're shifting gears. Erica, I love you, girl. I appreciate you. I celebrate you. I honor you on today and every day. This is the first of many books, I hope.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And actually, I have the book Four Keys to Unlocking Your Audacity that came out, and I just saw this in Facebook Memories 2 years ago around the same time I launched this one. So
wow.
It's if you like what we said here, then Four Keys to Unlock Your Audacity is actually an interactive motivational planner, a 90-day planner that helps you and checks up on you and everything else like that. And I'm going to add that to Amazon, but that's actually at okrasouptruth.com. But I'm going to add that to Amazon as well by the end of
Please do. Please do. Please do. Well, thank you so much, Erica, for being my special guest. Ladies, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. I know your time is valuable to you. I saw Samika on here. She was celebrating her anniversary. So I hope you still in celebration mode, Samika. Enjoy for me too, girl. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Happy anniversary, Samika. Thank you, Delon, for being here. Thank you, ladies. Show up next Saturday, 3 p.m., Facebook Live, Finding Your Confidence with my guest, Karen Monique. I will be advertising. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Encouraging Words by Denise. I appreciate you all. And I am out. Have a good day, y'all. Bye.